Up here at the Mabry Mill, just checking things out up here on the Blue Ridge Parkway. There's an old cabin.
Sorghum molasses.
Yep, sorghum molasses.
Which way we want to go?
That's what they used to turn and press the sugar cane. An old wheel yonder. This is what they used to evaporator pan there. Evaporate all the water out of it. Pretty cool stuff. Down that way is the old mill. There's an old log cart. And it looks like an old firewood shed. Yep. Pretty nice. Yeah. Pretty cool old timber frame firewood shed, fire pit. Pretty nice. Oh yeah. Look like old pine logs. Pretty cool stuff. There's some big timber up here. Yes, there is. I want you to look at the size of this set of pines right here. Look yonder where people's carved their names in all these trees years ago. That's pretty cool. Some big poplars. That is a monster. Give you an idea of just how big that tree is. Pretty good size. Oh yeah, she's way up in there. Yes, sir. There's another one right there. Big timber.
It's still there.
There's old whiskey still right down here. Look yonder setting. Old whiskey still. Been gone and not used for many years, but the old thump keg still down there, and the old worm keg, still itself still there. Pretty cool. There's some pretty places up in here. There's another tree with all kinds of initials carved in it. This one. Yeah. Pretty neat stuff. Boy, there's a big old tulip poplar right there. Old spruces, jack pines. Always a big old pine right there. Some more big pines. That's a big poplar. Big old tulip poplar. That's probably 130, 140 footer. Look at here. Old bark mill. Sure enough. There's some nice big pines right there. That's probably a 35, 36 inch tree. Appalachian house. Got a real short door on the front. Probably got a low ceiling in it. Yeah, it's got a second story in it. You can see the floor joist sticking through the logs. Yes, sir. This is the real deal. This is how they done it in the day. I want you to look at the size of the trunk on that cedar. That's a big old gnarly one. Yeah, they kept the doors and the window and the ceiling heights real low in these old houses. Yeah, you can't see. Yeah, you can see. Yeah. Yeah. Get you a peek in there. They put low ceilings in them to keep the heat in for sure. Pretty cool. And we're coming up on the blacksmith shop. I believe, I'm not sure. Big old yoke. Yep, this is the old blacksmith shop.
What does that mean?
It means they used to take fire and steel and make horseshoes and all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
Oh yeah. The old blacksmith shop. Yes, sir. Very cool.
No, you're not supposed to go now.
There's an old draw horse right there. Seen better days. Some old farm tools, old wagon. There's the mill, the water plumes coming down it. You can see they still hold water. Yeah. They'll catch water coming off the mountain. The water will run down these plumes. There's a dump gate going down the creek. And they can close these gates and run that water down that plume into the mill. This is part of the plume system right here. Carries the water down to the mill. If anybody can tell me what that is, play a little game. Somebody leave it in the comments. There's the old mill. Now here's something you don't see every day. These are old millstones. What used to grind the grain with. They'd stick two of these together and the grain would fall down into the grooves and it would turn. You can see all this is hand cut. Yes, sir. Old millstones, and they're heavy. This was actually a versatile mill. This mill saw lumber and grist, cornmeal, flour. Now here's the old sawmill part of it. Yes, sir. Look at that old blade. You talk about making knives. Yes, sir. Man can make some knives with that. There's your grist mill right there. You can see all this is post and beam construction. Years and years ago. There's your water control lever, which releases the water, closes the chutes and opens the chutes, and there's your water wheel. You can see they got the water diverted right now. Right over here is where your action is. Old grist mill. See if I can't zoom out a little bit. Buckwheat hopper. The stones went down in the bottom, or let's see, where did the stones sit?
Papa,
There's a grinding wheel.
Yeah. All this was old belt driven. There's your main drive and your stones set down in here. Right over in here is where your stones sit. They don't have a set of stones in them right now. There's your main axle for your water wheel. October 1937. And that's what the bag looked like. This is where they done a lot of work. An old grinder that they drove with a belt. As you can see, that's how they had it set up. It's an old workshop. Old workbench. They repaired old wooden wheels and hubs. Alfred St. Clair crafted this. There's an old jigsaw driven by the wheel. All that wheel did, see, that wheel drove all this stuff. They'd line up everything so that the main wheel right there had a belt that come across to here, and it drove all your grinders and your saws. Here's another one. Right here's a lathe driven off the water. Here's your main drive wheel. Went over to the main belt. Look yonder, old drive system. Pretty cool stuff. There's wheels everywhere. You can see them up in there, old drive wheels. Yep. Pretty cool old stuff. Somebody had a hub in here, turning a hub down for something. Some of this stuff they had to have the blacksmith make, like these old screws. There's another drive. Pretty cool stuff. Groove joiner, tongue and groove joiner. Pretty special old mill. Thank y'all for joining me today. Just wanted to give you a little taste of the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Mabry Mill here in North Carolina. Y'all be safe. Watch your top knot.